you. Good evening, folks. Those of you that have come to the meeting, thank you. This is the North Miami Planning Commission meeting for Tuesday, June 6, 2023. I call the meeting to order. May we have roll call, please?
All right, good evening. Chairman Ernst,
Present?
Commissioner Blamier,
Present.
Commissioner Vice Chair McDermott.
Present.
Commissioner Each is excused. And Commissioner Seafried,
Present.
Commissioner Edwidge Clark,
Present.
Commissioner Bob. And we have a quorum.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And let's please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Staff, do we have any amendments to the agenda?
Mr. Chair, we are going to have one more item that we want to speak to you about under communications when we get to that particular item, sir. Other than that, no other changes, sir.
Thank you, Debbie. I ask for a motion to approve the minutes of May 2nd, 2023. Mr. McDermott has a motion to approve the minutes for May 2nd, seconded by Mr. Seifried. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All approved. There are no nays. Minutes have been approved. Okay, we'll move to communications. I do see a note here, next meeting, July 13th, 2023, and I believe, Ms. Love, you want to go ahead and give us some additional information?
Yes, sir. As you all know, this is your next planning commission date. Because of the 4th of July holiday, you all agreed to do that. This would be the date that would work for you. The second item that I would like to speak to you about today is quorum and making sure that we have quorum each time for each meeting. We send out RSVPs out, and we really need to get your responses that day or at the latest the next day, because we have to plan for whether or not we have everyone. Do we need an alternate? So we would appreciate it if you all would respond quickly to when Cynthia sends out the RSVP. And we do have, I do all want to remind you that you have an obligation as under the Planning Commission rules to attend the meetings, and unfortunately we've been fairly generous with that particular situation of attendance. However, just because you cannot make it is not an excused absence. So be mindful of an excused absence would be sick, family ill, you're out on vacation, you're just not in town, you're not available because you're out of town, or you're sick, or someone else is sick in your family. So we have to keep these things moving, and we've had some issues in the past, as you all know, with not getting quorum. And so it's important for us to know that we have quorum early so that we can advise applicants if we have to change the dates. So I do appreciate that. And that is it for me on that particular item, sir.
Duly noted. Thank you, Debbie. Continued public hearings. Do we have any, staff?
No, sir.
Thank you very much. So we'll go ahead and move on to the public hearing section. I'm going to read the item in, and then we'll, after I read it in, we'll ask for commission disclosure. So this is PC item 1777. A resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving an application for a conditional use permit in substantially the attached form for proposed mixed-use development consisting of a 12-unit, 4-story apartment building with 434 square feet of retail space on real property located at 12315 Northeast 4th Avenue, identified with Miami-Dade County folio number 06-2230-036-0100, and totaling approximately .20 acres in accordance with Article 3, Division 4, Sections 3-402 through 3-407, Article 4, Division 2, Section 4-202, Section 4-203B, Sections 4-205, Sections 4-303, and Sections 4-305 and Sections 4-306 of the City of North Miami Code of Ordinances, Chapter 29, entitled Land Development Regulations, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes. The item has been read in, and at this point, I'll ask each commission member, please let us know if you have had any contact with the petitioner or the public and had any discussions regarding this PC 1777 that has come before us. Feel free to speak up.
No, I've had no
Okay.
contact.
None. Mr. Clark, you're good?
I'm good. None.
Ms. Blamera, you're good?
Yes,
And
none.
Mr. Bob, you're good? Good. And Mr. McDermott?
Good.
And myself. Thank you very much. Okay, at this point, I'll go ahead and, Debbie, if you could please
Mr.
give us your
Chair.
staff. Yes.
I'd like to go over the quasi-judicial procedure.
Oh, yes, of course, this is quasi-judicial. I was going to get to that.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
So these rules apply to applications on specific parcels of land, like zoning map amendments, special exceptions, variances, and conditional use requests. The commission will sit like a court, hence the term quasi-judicial, reviewing the facts presented at the hearing, applying the adopted rules as explained by staff in the staff report and verbally. Commission members can make site visits, but must disclose the evidence upon which they intend to rely from that visit. Commission members must disclose at the beginning of the hearing whether they have had communications with individuals on behalf of the applicant or otherwise, including who the communication was with and what the topic of the discussion was. All persons intending to speak to the commission will be sworn by the clerk. The staff will make a presentation and the commission may ask questions. The applicant will make a presentation, including expert witnesses, if any, and the commission may ask questions. When the public hearing is open, the public can make comments on the application limited to 2 minutes each. Citizen testimony must be fact-based, not opinion. The commission or board may ask questions, and the applicant's attorney, if any, may ask cross-examination questions. Members of the public can decline to be cross-examined. The commission will then deliberate based on the evidence presented. The commission's decision must be based on competent substantial evidence, meaning based on the record, staff presentations, expert presentations, and fact-based comments by citizens, according to the standards for approval set forth in the city code. The commission may then approve, deny, or continue the item. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Alt. At this point, I'll go ahead and anyone that wishes to speak on this matter, and the petitioners included, must take an oath. And Cynthia, I can read it, or
Okay. Okay.
all right. So
Okay, if-
everyone, please stand. We'll make note of who plans to talk. Okay. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony and evidence you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You do, all right.
Okay, I want to confirm that Ms. Love is also among those being sworn. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am?
good.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll have to get used to that. All right, Ms. Love, may we have your staff report, please?
Yes, sir. Bear with me.
By the way, your video is very good. Your signal. and
Okay,
your
the
video's very
item
good.
before you this evening is a conditional use permit application request for a project with the name of 123 Nomi. It is, they are requesting 12 floating units from the residential floating unit pool for the subject property located at 12315 Northeast 4th Avenue. It's the parcel is slightly under a quarter of an acre, about 8,100 square feet. It's currently developed with a 5-unit apartment building that was constructed, according to the property appraiser, around 1965. It is currently zoned, the property is currently zoned C3. It has, it is on the future land use map designated as central business commercial. Under the C3, the maximum height is 35 feet. And under the central business commercial land use designation, it's 150 feet. The property is also located in 3 overlay districts. The Arts and Cultural Overlay District. And in this, that particular overlay, it requires uses that support all art, culture, design, arts education, and the live-work units. That's important because this particular project does include live-work units. It is also located in the NRO, where there are transitional standards, as you all are aware, and it allows 90 dwelling units per acre through the conditional use permit. And finally, it's located under the PCD. The max height in the PCD is 110 feet, and through the conditional use permit, they can get up to 100 dwelling units per acre. Now, back in May of, way back in May, of this year, on the 17th, the Board of Adjustment granted a variance to the property to reduce the transitional setback to 10 feet. The particular proposal is for a 4-story, 12-unit apartment building. Of those 12 units, one of them will be a live-work unit. They are proposing 434 square feet of what is labeled as retail space in the in your first page of the plans that are in your package. But if you'll note that they also have in there, they're showing that it's planned to be a yoga studio. They are proposing 16 ground level covered parking spaces. As you can see, the building is elevated over the parking. It will have enhanced stormwater requirements. It will have 100% Florida native vegetation. And because it's in the Arts Overlay District, and because they're requesting floating units, they will be required to install public art. And the applicant can tell you more about that if you have any questions. The economic impact for this particular project is 28 short-term direct and indirect construction jobs during the approximately 2 years anticipated for development. This will equal about $3 million in wages that will come into the area. After the building is constructed and fully operational, they anticipate 4 full-time employees, paying out a total of about $330,000 annually for the various positions. It is estimated about $31,000 annually the city will have in ad valorem taxes. And the one-time impact fee and development fees are a little bit less than $160,000. As you know, we always have conditions. Some are unique to the project, some are very standard. In this case, it will require DRC site plan review, which means it will also come back to City Council for site plan approval after it goes to DRC. They will be required to construct and maintain a 6-foot wide sidewalk along Northeast 4th Avenue. And they will have to maintain install and maintain their sustainable commitments to meet our code requirements. So the next step is this will go to city council. We're still working through the scheduling and how many projects they will take before they go on hiatus. So it's to be determined at this time. And then the DRC would be the next step after city council. They will have to apply for DRC site plan approval. And once that occurs, it will go then to city council. That is the end of my presentation. I know the applicant is here. And if you'll bear with me a moment, sir, I'll stop sharing my screen. Of a presentation, they're here to answer any questions that you might have.
Debbie, I do have a quick question for you. In your project attributes that you listed,
Yes, sir.
is this one-bedroom live-work unit something that is a city requirement, or is that a concept that the developer has come up with?
It is not a city requirement, no, sir. It is proposed by the applicant.
Okay, is this something that's, I guess I've never heard of that before, so I don't know if it's something that is a new concept, or, in fact, anybody could really run a business out of their apartment, correct?
Right,
If
this
they-
is a little bit different than a home occupation. These live-work units are designed specifically to have space for an office or a business. Typically, it's designed with the business downstairs and the residential unit upstairs. And in the case of these small lots, it is incorporated into the floor plan. If you'll look into your plans that's in your packet, you'll see that on one of the floor plans, you can see the live-work unit labeled. Let me
Yeah.
go back to that PowerPoint.
Would happen
But
to
you can
know a
see the
page number
live-work
for that, would
unit
you?
labeled, sir.
Do you happen to know the page number for that?
Hold on just a moment, sir. In the conceptual plans, it is shown. It's a little bit slow on me.
That's all right,
Bear with me, sir.
absolutely.
All right.
It's architectural drawing page A-102. I don't know if you can find it that way or not.
No, we only have page numbers, unfortunately.
In the package, ooh, let me see if I can pull up the
I'm
entire
looking at all kinds
package.
of floor
I don't have
plans.
I don't have a, my numbering is different
Yeah.
than your numbering,
Oh,
sir.
all right, well,
It would be after the letter of intent, and then comes the conceptual development plans.
yeah.
If
no,
you'd like, I can try to get them open into that page, and I can share my screen. Would that help?
If I may,
well-
A-102 shows a yoga studio in the site plan.
In the center, but directly to the left of that, northwest of it, it says live work.
Do we have a page number, Kevin, that you can reference for us?
Well, it's A-102, but as to how it works on a tablet, I have no
Yeah,
idea.
it's Unfortunately.
It's also page 55 in the agenda
Oh, okay.
package.
Let's see if that comes up here. Hold on one second. Bear with us, this is a new system. Oh,
I can pull it up on my
okay,
screen,
I
sir.
think I got it,
You got it? Okay, so
yeah. It's, I see the yoga studio listed here.
Right,
And directly
into
the-
above
Right
and to the
above
left
it
of
is
that,
the
it
live-
says live
okay.
work.
Live work.
great.
So, but it shows it as an apartment, not really as an office, correct? The design. Well, we could ask the petitioner to kind of go over that
Right.
a little bit.
Exactly, so
But I
that's
just
what I was
didn't
going to say.
understand the concept as to why it wasn't considered, why it was considered a separate unit and how that would affect bonus points.
It doesn't, sir. It has nothing to do with it. They're a residential dwelling unit. It's a residential dwelling unit is a residential dwelling unit.
Okay.
The thing that makes this different is as a use, it is specific to having a business at that location.
Right. Okay, maybe he can get
It's
into a little
typically
bit
for
more.
artist
Give me a-
studios.
Right,
In the Arts Overlay District, it was envisioned for like artist studios,
okay,
things like that, sir.
all right. That's all, the only question I had. Thank you for clearing it up. So at this point, is it fair to say we could go ahead and have the petitioner come forward, speak on this? Good evening, sir. If before you begin, you give your name and address for the record?
My name is Federico Zapata, 156 Northwest 89th Street, El Portal, Florida 33150.
Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, members of the Commission and Board. 123 NOMI is a transformative mixed-use development project proposed for the heart of North Miami. And here are the key features and benefits of our project. Do we see the presentation? Oh, you didn't get the presentation? Okay, so I just speak. So first benefit and feature of our project is a vibrant mixed-use community. We envision 12 residential units, a live workspace, and a retail all under one roof. The design fosters an engaging, dynamic community, boosting local business and enhancing neighborhood culture. The unit's floor plans have been designed around the shifting dynamics of modern life. Superb connectivity. Within a half-mile radius of the project, the building is served by 21 bus stops and the NOMI Express service routes, connecting residents to the city and beyond. Green and beautiful. We have designed a visually striking building that also contributes to environmental sustainability. Or eco-friendly driveway and parking with pavers, coupled with permeable landscape treatment, provides an aesthetically appeal while managing stormwater runoff efficiently. Revitalizing the housing element. In line with the City of North Miami's consolidated plan, our development introduces energy-efficient, storm-hardened residential units into an aging housing stock. Designed to meet modern line standards, these units will also accommodate persons with disability. Furthermore, we are committed to achieving green certification, implementing sustainable green building design principles. And lastly, regulatory compliance. We have ensured adherence to zoning regulations under the C3 Commercial District and the Overlay Designation Plan Development Corridor PCD. 123 NOMI project promises to bring new life into downtown North Miami, realizing the city's vision for a vibrant, high-density urban neighborhood. Thank you for your time and consideration, and we look forward to a favorable review and approval. And if I just make comment on your question, Mr. Ernst, regarding the live work unit,
Yes.
there is a separation between the units, between the live work, the unit, and the office space. However, you can have direct access to the unit through an exterior door, and you can also have a direct access to the small office via a separate exterior door. And both office and unit are connected via an interior door.
I see. So whoever leases that, they have to lease both. You can't sublease it, or one person only would have that.
That will be the
that
goal.
lease.
That will be a goal. The intent of this unit is that, for example, the unit owner will have a visitor or a client visit, doesn't have to enter the apartment, can enter straight to the office
Okay.
component.
But he has control of that. In other words, it's all under the same lease conditions.
Correct.
That is his and nobody else. And he can't, unless you write it in somehow that he could sublet it. Or
Correct.
whatever,
Only
right?
that person will have access to that office.
Okay. Interesting concept. Thank you very much, sir. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing. Public hearing is now open. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, please come forward. We'll wait a few seconds. I do see a gentleman coming forward. Good evening, sir. Give me your name and address, please, before you begin your...
Good evening, everyone. My name is Edwin Alvarez. I'm at 555 Northeast 127th Street. I'm a resident of North Miami, and I became aware of this, and I simply came to provide my support. I've become familiar with the work that Federico and his team has done, principally in the neighborhood. I'm a couple streets over, and their design ultimately was a beautiful, beautiful space that fit very well into the community. I saw that as an improvement, and I'm eager to see more of that. So I just came to provide my support.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Anyone else wishing to come forward? Good evening, sir.
Good
Are
evening.
you okay there with your ankle?
Yes, good evening, Commissioners. My name is Gio Darter. I am at 373 Northeast 125th Street. I have several properties in the Griffin Estate area, and I'm working on an artist residency program and cultural center on 125th Street and 4th. We're 4 weeks away from completion. It's going to be a beautiful addition to our neighborhood, and it's phase one of 3 phases of the Copper Arts Hub, which is the dream to bring creatives to District 3, both living and working people. So obviously, when I heard about this project, I reached out to Federico. I became a partner of the project because it goes with the master plan of creating beautifully designed neighborhoods, moderate scaled buildings that aren't intrusive to our neighborhood. So just enhancing our neighborhood, but also becoming alluring, and also an example to other condominiums that are in the neighborhood that are in need of some repair, or at least, again, so it's a perfect example of what should happen with good design and thoughtful consideration of the surrounding neighborhood. So obviously, it's part of the Copper Arts mission and master plan. So of course, I welcome it. And again, it's a great example of what's to come in our neighborhood, and hope to see more wonderful designs that way and bring more family and creatives to our District 3.
Thank you,
Thank
sir. Just one comment. That building is the old building that you're renovating on the corner. That's got a lot of character to it.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
glad to see that somebody didn't want to tear it down, but instead enhanced it, and I commend you on that, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
We
much.
appreciate your wanting to be a part of the community and enhancing something that, basically that building's been around a long time, and it's, almost a historic.
Aren't there actually 2 buildings?
Yes, there is, whoever said that. Yes. There's 2 buildings. One is the
The
Art
next-
Center, which
right.
again, we kept the integrity of the building. It's cost a lot more time and money to do
Right.
so, but it's part of our history, and it's already being observed as a beautiful restoration progress. Of course, also Federico has been a great asset with that building. And then the second building is artist residency, and we intend to continue building other and restoring. We have Casa Fe, which is right down the street, which is another Mediterranean building, which is also going to be a co-work space. Again, preserving our history, yet again bringing beautiful design to District 3, which is, of course, it's a historic neighborhood anyway. So even though we're not designated, we have to preserve the beauty of that neighborhood. So,
Again, thank you for that, sir.
Thank
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak on the on PC 1777? Hearing none, seeing none, I will go ahead and close the public hearing. Public hearing is now closed. I now open up discussion among my fellow commissioners. I'll start with Mr. Seyfried down on the end. Sir?
I support the project as presented.
Thank you, sir. Mr. McDermott?
Yes, I support the project. It's really a nice addition to that neighborhood. That neighborhood has been run down and sort of like neglected for many years. So hopefully this will be a catalyst to change that whole neighborhood and enhance all the art initiatives that are going on 125th Street. It'll be a perfect synchronicity to really get that neighborhood up and going again.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Bob, down front there, sir, I'm not going to forget you tonight.
Yeah, I think it'll be something good to add and kind of jumpstart the area. It's my hope that with this project, it'll encourage other developers to continue to develop that area and kind of make it a brighter spot than it currently is.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Clark?
Yeah, I'm in support of the project. I think it's a beautiful design. I look forward to seeing it come to fruition. Thank you.
Very good. And finally, Ms. Blumer?
Good evening. Thank you so very much for that wonderful presentation. I just have a few questions. Number one, what are the costs of the apartments right now? The 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, what would be the cost?
So the project is, we estimate that it's 2 years from completion. If we were to rent that apartment today, the cost of a 1 bedroom will be $1,800 a month. A cost of a 2 bedroom will be between $2,200 to $2,500 a month, and a cost of a 3 bedroom would be about $2,800 to $2,900 a month.
As you may already know, in Miami-Dade County, there is such a huge shortage of available apartments, and the cost of housing has gone up significantly,
Yes.
where, individuals that look like me are not able to find good apartments that are affordable. So while I think it's a great project, I would like to know, my follow-up question is, are you looking to have some affordable units or workforce units available?
Well, the rents levels that we are considering will be considered workforce housing. They'll fit within the 100 to 120 AMI. If you look at the chart currently today, as shown by the regulatory agency, we will fit within those constraints. It won't be affordable because it's such a small project. Cost of construction financing today will not allow us to make affordable, but we can, that project like this will be considered workforce housing, and again, will be between 100 to 120 AMI.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Okay, no other comments. Mine only, I brought up the fact on the work live unit, and I just found it interesting that you would decide that one retail space would be a yoga studio. Could that be used for something else other than yoga, or would you have plans, or what?
It's difficult to say what will be used for. Ideally, will be a yoga studio. It relates to what artists do in their free time. They
Right.
go and meditate in yoga. But it can also be used not only as a commercial, but the use of the residents or the immediate residents. It's not big enough. It's a small.
Yeah, it's a very small
It's a very
size.
small,
You definitely couldn't open up a restaurant or a club in there or anything else like that, or maybe a small office
Yeah.
perhaps, or something like that. But
Which, Mr. Chairman, I think really fits with that neighborhood anyway, what they're trying to do with the art, all the different art changes.
right.
You don't really want a commercial.
Correct.
You want something that's more amenable to an art studio or something that fits in with what's trying to happen in that neighborhood.
Right.
It could also be for somebody that lives in the building and gives classes, personalized classes for 2 or 3
Great.
clients, invite them in, and it will have, maybe they can rent the space from us and provide those services.
No, I see your point. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. McDermott?
I'd like to move to approve the item.
Mr. McDermott moves for approval of the item.
I'll second.
I have a second from Mr.
Before we continue, I believe someone had a question or,
No,
I just-
we don't take questions.
Okay.
The gentleman spoke already.
got it, thank
So,
you.
that would be considered mute at this point. Okay, do we have a second?
I
Mr.
second.
Seyfried has seconded. I'll go ahead and do a voice vote on this. We'll start with Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob is a yes. Mr. Seyfried?
Yes.
Mr. Seyfried is yes. Mr. McDermott?
Yes.
Mr. McDermott is yes. Ms. Blemur?
Yes.
Ms. Blemur is yes. Mr. Clark
Yes.
is yes, and Chairman Ernst is yes. So the item moves. Unanimous.
Unanimous.
Thank you very much. That is the only item we have on the agenda tonight. Let's double check to see if we have any committee reports.
No, sir,
Yes, Ms. Love?
we do not, sir.
Okay, thank you. Any old business? I think we have no old business. The old,
Yes, we do.
I
Yes.
have
Yes, we do,
Sorry.
sir.
yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Debbie,
I just wanted to give you all a quick update, you and the members of the public who may be watching, a little update on where we are with the comprehensive plan update. Was, as you all know, it was transmitted to the state for review. The state has provided us with some comments that they would like for us to address. They seem to be fairly minor in nature. There's just some information that FDOT is looking for. And so we anticipate second reading to be at the August 22nd City Council meeting. Let me just make sure I have that date correct, sir. I'm pretty sure it's August 22nd. Yes, it is. Yes, sir. That's their second meeting in August for City Council. It will then become effective approximately 40 days after that. So it's very exciting, and we are going to be starting part 2 of this process, and that would be the update of the land development regulations. We are currently requesting before City Council to approve a contract with the same firm who did an excellent job on our comprehensive plan to help us with our land development regulation update as well. So soon you all will start hearing some fun things, maybe some meetings that we're going to be having. We will be having some community workshops in various parts of the city, so it's very exciting, and you all will have a lot more work to do as we bring those items before you as well, sir.
Debbie, as far as when we had the comp plan, I know the consultants, we were able to meet with them. Would that be possible with the land use regulations that perhaps we could be able to speak with those consultants beforehand, or at least have them give us some of their, or let us have some input with them on that?
Well, of course, we'll be setting up various stakeholder groups and to talk about the LDRs, and you will certainly be part of that process before it even comes before you. So
Right.
we're excited, and so be prepared.
Right, thank you. Anything else? Cynthia, you had an item?
Yes, I wasn't sure if you all would like to discuss whether or not, come August, you're gonna have a meeting or not. That was tabled.
I need to wait until the July 13th meeting,
All right.
because we may have items that are ready, but I don't know yet.
Okay, thank you. So we'll make note of that then, and I will, you're suggesting we keep our calendar clear
Yes,
at this point?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have 5 or 6 conditional use permits that are in various stages of review, and we may have things ready for the August meeting, but I unfortunately, I told you I would tell you all today, But because they're in various stages of review, unfortunately, I won't be able to confirm that until our July meeting.
Okay, thank you. Any new business before us?
No, sir.
None, all right. So, that being said, I'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting. The meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all.